Hello, everyone. That took a second because I had to juggle because my mute keys are not what they should be. I am not one of the people you see. I am your favorite demi-penguin tech ghost, Galway, here to introduce a wonderful and very special game where we have a bunch of people not just making Helpful Goat debuts, but introducing themselves to TTRPGs for the first time. You love to see it. Um, my name is Galway. I am not GM or one of the stars tonight, but I'm going to do some quick intros and then turn things over to the wonderful Elise So Dreamy, who will be your GM for the evening. I'm one of the founders and the programming director here at Helpful Goat Gaming, and welcome to Helpful Goat Gaming Celebrates Pride. Helpful Goat Gaming is a small independent game design, game content creation community. If you would like to join the heart of this community, our chat has found the cats. Oh, well,
Always
that's going to be the
eventually it
theme.
happens.
Nothing I say really matters at this point. Chat has discovered the cats. If you'd like to join the community, the sort of heart of the community, !Discord in the chat gets you a link, or check the description down below if you're finding us on YouTube. We do all kinds of things there. We play games together. We do internal game streams. Rachel attempts to teach us to read. Going so far. Board games, movie nights, all kinds of things. So check out that if you would like to join. It's also, honestly, just one of the most wonderful and supporting communities I've been lucky enough to come across. So, right now we are celebrating Pride, so that's dominating our programming with one-shot adventures featuring LGBTQIA themes, characters, designers, and more. Our last of these Pride streams will be coming up on June 25th at 9 p.m. Eastern as we play iHunt, and that will be GM'd by Nyx, making their Helpful Goat GMing debut. So join us for that. Here on Twitch, you can follow us for free, get notified whenever we go live. You can also cheer or subscribe to us, which supports us financially. We appreciate it tremendously. You can sub for free with Twitch Prime if you have Amazon Prime. If you don't use it on us, please use it on a small, mid-sized streamer. It makes a big difference. If you'd like to support us very directly, !Coffee, KO-FI in the chat. Lena has just told me that it is at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm good. I remember where things are.
That's great. You're doing great. It's at 2 p.m.
No. I was actually just enjoying you and Sam discussing the phrasing of things, and I was like, I walked into that one.
But normally we just kind of make eye contact via the cameras and then snicker.
Yeah. So that'll round out our programming, but you can check us out, and we'll be getting back into sort of regular programming schedules coming up that next week. !Coffee, KO-FI to support us. And if you'd like some merch with your financial support of the goats, !Merch, which Andy will persistently try to type as Nurch. We're not sure why. Beyond that, !Donate. It is very important to us here at Helpful Goat to bring attention to and support causes that are near and dear to us. And for Pride Month, we have a list of a whole bunch of LGBTQIA+ organizations sorted by geographic area, focus, sort of interventions type, etc. Many of which, at least a large portion of which I've also vetted on Charity Navigator. So please, if you have the time, the resources, the spoons, click the link, pick one that sounds good, and donate. I think I have taken up quite enough time. I can copy the poem in for you, Chelsea, into Discord if you want.
I was worried about the random animal generator.
Oh, God.
Which came up snake, which is very good because we were just admiring the many snakes of our players. So, as like actual snakes that exist in their home.
Yeah.
I just need to announce that snake is the random animal generated today.
Good. Push the button, snake. Thank you so much. I hope everybody has a great time playing. Hope everybody has a great time watching, and I'm going to turn it over to you now, Elise.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Elise. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am so excited to be GMing this game tonight. We are playing a game called Adventure Skeletons, which is just a very silly thing where instead of being humans going into a skeleton dungeon, you're skeletons going into a human dungeon. And we'll be doing that in a minute. Let's see. Galway has put so helpfully the poem tonight from Chelsea in the chat. So players, for those of you who don't know, since you are new to the community, there is Thanks, Golly. I saw the chat. Chelsea is one of our community members who always writes us a nice little poem when we do a stream. So I will read it tonight. Maybe if my throat will stop being clogged. Okay, excuse me. I had to get ready. Another night celebrating Pride. It's sure to be a gloriously chaotic joy ride. With a dreamy GM and an incredible cast, this game is sure to be a skeletal adventure in store to provide bona fide glee. Huh, cute. Much love, Pride Goats. Your voices I hear and faces I see. Thank you, Chelsea. As always, we so appreciate your wonderful contribution to our community. So, with that, let's go ahead and do some introductions. So, I am going to ask the players to introduce themselves. So, if you could say your name and your pronouns, please, and then also give the name and pronouns of your character. And we can just go around however you want. You can kind of pass it off to somebody. So I will start by passing things over to, oh, it's this way on on the flip screen, to Lizzie.
Hi. Um, yeah, as Elise already said, my name is Lizzie. I use she, they pronouns. And tonight I will be playing Diz, who uses she, her pronouns. And yeah, no, I think that's good.
Yes, and now you have to pass it to somebody.
Okay. Go ahead, my partner in the room.
Hi, I'm Linz. I use she, they pronouns, and my character is Zeno, who uses he, they pronouns, and is a skeletal elf. Hammer.
My name is Hannah. I use they, them pronouns. My skeleton's name is Ham, and they also use they, them pronouns. And I guess I'm the only one left, even though I'm in the room with Hannah. My name is Meg. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Rock, who is a skeletal dwarf and uses she, her pronouns.
All right. Very good. Then, players, we are going to jump into our adventure. And your little collection, your little band of adventurers. The premise is at you have been resurrected. You have been necromantically brought back as skeletons by some wizard who just needs guards for their tower because people don't like necromancers, and they keep sending adventuring parties to this tower to invade, but it's honestly been it's pretty bland lately. It's been pretty boring. And you were raised from the dead with the expectation that there would be cool treasure and villains to slay. And by villains, we mean, those adventuring parties, and that there would be legendary deeds to perform and feats to do. And instead, it's just been a lot of not any of that. It's been pretty bad. It's been boring. So you have decided to strike off on your own and see if you can maybe find your own adventure in the human dungeon. And do those things that you had been hoping that the afterlife, well, the re-afterlife could be, like slaying villains and getting cool stuff and performing legendary deeds. And so you set off towards the fabled thing that you have heard, the monastery, where the cultists reside, and you have to go and take care of, see if you can clean out this dungeon. So as you kind of crest the hill, it's twilight and you're moving under the cover of night, and in the trees and the bushes around the road so that you can't be seen by the guards who might be keeping watch at the entrance of the monastery. You are coming up towards it, and you are now faced with its nighttime, and you see as one of these cultists, wearing their strange loose brown robes tied by some rough hewn rope, kind of hold up a lantern and look around into the night, and then puts it back on its little stand that he carries it on, and turns back into the monastery and closes the door behind him. And you think that perhaps the coast might be clear. What would you like to do?
Take the lead. Okay. Regardless of how safe I think it is, I'm still going to remain in like a relatively stealthy-ish position. I'm also a lot smaller. I am a skeletal dwarf. I guess I'll sort of describe my character now. I guess
Yeah,
since
go
I'm
for
going
it.
first. Yeah. So once again, Diz. Did I say dwarf? I meant goblin. I said
I
dwarf.
was gonna say I thought you were a goblin, but if you say
I'm a
dwarf,
goblin.
okay.
Who has two knives made out of bones, fittingly. And yeah, kind of just like always walking in like a hunch. Maybe that how I was laid to rest or something like that, but kind of still always in that like sneaking-ish sort of hunch. Um, but very very stealthily, I'll kind of just like um try and make my way to the door and like put my I don't have ears. I'm a skeleton. Put my skull to the
Hmm.
door to try and listen inside and like kind of like do like the stealth like
Okay. So you're just kind of, what are you trying to listen for? You just, as you kind of sneak up to the door here.
maybe just to make sure that there aren't people on the immediate other side of the door.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll your d10. And you do get a +1 for sneaking as a goblin. So you can roll your d10 and then add 1 to whatever your result is. Uh-oh.
Wonderful. That's a 2.
A 2. Um, Diz, you are pretty sure nothing's going on the other side of the door.
So confident. I'm glad that the first roll was a 1. Now I can't roll anymore.
Yeah, you've burned up your bad luck. So the rest of you, you see Diz approach the door, crouched low, listen for a moment, and then give you the hand signals, meaning coast is clear. What are you gonna do?
Can I double check that the coast is in fact clear?
I have a question for you. Does your
Yeah.
character have a mistrust of Diz's perception skills? Because over the table, you, Megan, know that Diz didn't do a great job rolling, but your character sees Diz go to the door, listen, and do this. So if you think that your character, if you think that Rock has a history of mistrusting Diz, then yes. But if not, then no.
I think Rock, as a former dwarf, would have a slight mistrust of a goblin. So
Okay.
I think I
Um,
would.
Okay, then you can approach the door as well. But as you approach, Diz is still standing there. So you're going to have to discuss it with your party mate here.
Okay. Um
All right, Diz.
I I'm pretty sure the coast is clear. I don't hear anything on the other side of the door.
I mean, the door's pretty thick. You could get a second opinion.
I mean, yeah,
I
sure,
mean,
I
if you're
guess,
really
but
sure.
I didn't hear anything.
All right, you know what? I'll trust you on this one. You seem very confident.
Was gonna say in the meantime, I trust Diz, so I start walking over. I mean, they're calling me, so.
Well, hey, don't just walk. Stealth.
Oh yeah,
Get down.
I'm trying. Quietly. I'm an elf, I'm little. Got
I
little
will
bones.
I will also join Linz in stealthily creeping over.
All right. So Ham and Zeno join the group, and Rock has decided, trusting Diz's call on this one, trying to extend a bit of an olive branch here. There's maybe some prejudices from previous lives that we're trying to leave behind. That's nice. That's good. All right. So who's going to take lead? Who's going to take lead on opening this door?
I mean, I'll
Open the
like
door.
stand. Yeah,
Unless
I'll
you're
stand
scared.
like next to the door while like you open it, so I'll be on like the like the flanking side of the door.
Cool.
Okay. Rock, you open the door. You push. It's heavier than you expect. It is a big, thick, heavy wooden door. And as you push it open, you hear the creak as it opens. And there's a moment where all of you, if you had breath to hold, would hold it, wondering if there is indeed someone waiting to hear that. Um, Moment passes. You wait, but it seems like Diz was right. Maybe there was nothing on the other side of this door. And sometimes natural ones just mean you luck into the right thing. You heard absolutely nothing, but there was also nothing to hear. So, all right. So you have now, yeah, you're in, and you sneak into the monastery, and then quietly creak the door shut. Um, you are now standing inside. There are a few candles still lit. It's quite dim light in here, but it seems that the cultists who reside here have not maybe fully gone to bed yet, and so or that there might be people who stay up overnight. It's unclear. So there are a few candles still lit in the halls, but it's only every third candle that's lit. So clearly, this is like for nighttime. They've kind of doused most of them. It's enough to light the way, and yeah, you're standing there, and you see. I mean, this is the how are you feeling as you have now entered your first human dungeon?
I think that Diz is like really excited, kind of like too excited to like actually end up like possibly like we just saw the cultist, yeah, the cultist just like walk in there, kind of just really excited to finally get to use her knives.
So maybe looking for a cultist step.
Yeah,
Just
pretty
all
much.
right. Others, how are you feeling in your first foray into a dungeon?
A little
I'm down with the
nervous.
step. Yeah.
Mhm. All right, so I heard a little nervous from Rock and from Zeno. What were you saying?
I said a little nervous.
And Ham? How's Ham? What's Ham thinking?
Ham is also feeling nervous, feeling a little suspicious that people might be nearby.
Okay. All right. So as your group kind of excited and nervous, maybe wondering like, are we going to get caught? Is someone going to pop out of the shadows at us? The You see that the hallway, you're kind of in a large vestibule, right, of this monastery, and a hallway that goes forward. It's very rounded, arched entryway, forward, and then splits off left and right. And so if you go forward, you can see that opens up into a large cavernous room, with rows of wooden benches. And that is pretty dim. And up at the very, very front of that, Diz, you squint and you look and you see that maybe there is a shadow moving up there, a person, but they're so far up to the front, and they're very absorbed in whatever it is they're doing. Um, that you think that you're not in much danger of being spotted unless you just like stand here gawking for a very long time. And then to the left and right, these hallways that stretch out are where those like lit candles are spaced. And uh, Ham, since you specifically said you were kind of worried someone might be there watching or surprise everyone, why don't you give me a D10 roll, and remind me what is the ancestry of Ham?
Orc? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, it is. And
Okay.
okay, so you don't get a bonus for this, but just go ahead and give a D10.
I rolled a 9.
Excellent. It's a very good roll. So you look around, you don't see anyone else. There's nobody else visible. You don't hear footsteps coming from any direction. But over kind of down the right hallway, but not very far down it, just kind of in where the hallway meets this main area, you see something on the ground, something that catches your eye. It's small, long, kind of curved, and ends with a bit of a point. And you're it's not a person, it's not something you think might hurt you, but it's something that catches your eye.
Um, can I go pick it up?
Yes, you can. So you click your little bone feet across the floor over to it, and you bend down and pick it up. And what you have discovered is one phalange, a finger bone. You have discovered a finger bone. And Ham, you bring it back to the group. Let's go ahead and have everybody roll a d10. And let me check. We have goblin, dwarf, orc, and elf. Nope, no bonuses on this. So just your d10.
I got a 10.
Ooh,
I
got
got a
an
9. I was right. That's just
I got
rude.
an 8.
I got a 2.
okay. So Zeno doesn't recognize anything about this, but the rest of you gasp together as you realize this isn't just any finger bone. This is the left pointer finger of Lulu the Great, the missing skeleton of skeleton ancestry, who from your camp, you thought she was on a special assignment from the wizard. But now perhaps you are encountering evidence to the contrary. And Ham, you see in like where the finger was, your eyes are kind of drawn back over there as this realization that perhaps Lulu is here, or some remains of Lulu are here at any rate. You kind of glance over and see that where the finger was, it was curled and pointing almost down the hallway.
I think I would like to go down that hallway, go in the direction that the finger was pointing us in.
Okay. We're getting feedback from your mic. That's okay though. Okay. The group of you want to follow. Oh my gosh, Ham down the hallway.
Ham.
Yeah, I would like to. Okay, I'm assuming due to my height, I can kind of like follow your footsteps like immediately behind you and be like, my head's probably at like your pelvis area. So I'm just gonna be like behind you, mimicking your steps, mimicking Ham's steps.
To be extra quiet.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, I think I'm confused, and I also have a ranged weapon, so I think I'm just kind of staying back, letting them go.
Okay. All right. You'll just keep up the rear guard. Okay. Yeah, so you head down the hallway to the right, and you see down this hallway as you kind of turn into it, there are several doors that are closed. All the doors in this hallway are closed, and the one closest to you is kind of here. And then there's a space where instead of a door, you see an opening, an arched opening, and it's stairs, and they look like maybe they're leading down. And then there's another door, and on the other side of the hall, quite a large set of doors that seem to lead into one big room behind you.
Could I look down the stairs, just look and see if I could see anything?
Yeah, go ahead. You can roll your d10 and remind me your ancestry is
Dwarf.
dwarf. Okay, no bonuses. Go ahead and roll that d10.
I got a 2.
Okay, with a 2, you don't see anything. You see a stairwell going down, and it curves around, and even listening, not much to go on what might be down these stairs.
I
I get nervous and catch up with them, so I just got there, so could I also check it out?
Yes, go ahead and roll a d10.
Got a 6.
Okay. With a 6, what you kind of sense down the stairs, you don't see much. The stairs still curve, and there's not much to look at. So you can't really see anything that might give away like what's down there or whatever. But you feel a bit of a cool breeze coming up, and you put together this is down into an underground area. And you also get the faint like whiff of something, maybe like rusting iron down there.
Do you guys smell that?
Probably not.
What?
I'll just be honest. I know that goblins are probably well known for their sense of smell. However, I have no more olfactory organs. It's amazing that you can smell that.
I can sense it
Yeah, it's
in my
like a
bones. I
sense.
can really feel it in my bones.
Yeah. Um, could you describe the other places in the room again?
So you're in this hallway. You've got a door. So if you're standing in the like at the top of the stairwell, you've got down the stairs. To your left is a door. To your right is a door. Both are closed, and they seem to go into the kind of smaller rooms. And behind you is like a set of double doors that might go into a larger room.
Okay. I kind of want to, once again, very quietly, very slowly, probably too slow and too quiet. I would like to go over to just like one of the smaller doors and see if I can like open it. If it, yeah.
Okay. The one to the left or the one to the right?
Let's do left.
Okay. You gently, slowly push on the door to the left, and it gently, slowly starts to open.
Okay. I'm gonna do my like.
Should we just see if anybody understands the? All of you roll d10s, except for Diz.
I rolled a 2.
I got a 6.
I got a 5.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, definitely. Rock understands the other two. You just see these hand motions, and it's Diz is just doing some hand gestures next to you as you peer down this down these stairs.
I assume Brock
Right.
is probably used to like Diz's like stupid hand gestures.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I pick up on the gestures. Could you do it one more time? Do the
The
yeah, show me again. Okay, I'm gonna go inside
Okay.
and check it out.
All right. Sorry, my dog is upset about something. It's probably a dog walking by. I'm sorry. This happens from time to time. So Rock, you walk in past Diz, and in this kind of dimly lit area, you see kind of sitting in the back is a human person. They have their back to the door. They're kind of bent, stooped over, and I see the daggers. They're kind of bent, stooped over, and they're rummaging through something, kind of mumbling to themselves.
Okay, I'm gonna put my back to the wall very stealthily because I didn't realize there was someone there until just now. Um,
I didn't check.
and
I
then
just opened the door.
I trusted you. What about we both go in there and just stab them? How do you feel about that?
Great.
All right.
I would have preferred if he said it with cool hand motions like.
Oh, sorry.
Both of you roll stealth. We're gonna have a -1 to this because you did just talk.
Ooh. Stealth is the D10 stealth.
D10. Yep. Just roll a D10 and then
I got
-1
8,
from your result. Did you subtract
so
one?
7.
I got a 9 -1 +1, so I got a 9.
Hey, all right. So with the 9 is enough to pass. The 7 just barely fails. You see this human figure kind of stand up and turn around at these words. And in the middle of one of your hand gestures, from the corner of your eye, Rock, you see Diz just slip almost invisible into the room behind you and around the back. And you know that this human person has not seen Diz, but you are standing there like they're looking at you with big wide eyes and what the hell? And like they start to kind of back up and they're just like you see them start to panic because now suddenly there is an animate skeleton in this room with them. You have
Oh,
you each have
dear.
one action before they will take their next action.
I
In
would
the hallway,
like.
the other two
Oh,
do
okay.
hear, a yell of "What the hell?"
All right.
I was gonna say I probably hear
Um.
something and go peek in, keep an eye, see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Ham
All right.
and Zeno are on their way. Go ahead, Rook.
They're on their way. I would like to attack with my dagger.
Okay, so you will roll your d10.
7.
Nice. Okay, that does hit. So now you will roll with your dagger, which is a d4.
Okay. There it is. Got a 3.
Nice. Okay. So the way that that works is so for those following along at home, if you don't have the rules, the way that attacking in this game works is every creature that the skeleton crew can attack has a certain like difficulty rating. And this is called toughness, and it ranges from 2, which is very, very weak, like a sheep, up to 12, which is very, very hard, like a dragon. So if you do your damage and it is not higher than the difficulty, the toughness of the creature, then it reduces their toughness by 1. Basically, they have a wound, it makes them more susceptible to damage in the future. And so this person does not go down, but you see now that you have stabbed them in the gut, and they kind of bend over, holding their side, and they start to yell for help.
Oh, if they
Okay.
start to yell and I have another action,
You do.
I would like to just like from behind them try and like cover their mouth.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Roll your d10, and we'll say you were fully hidden, so +1.
Okay, that's a 5.
A 5 is as barely enough, but it does clear it. They're just they're just a little monk, but I mean, a terrifying cultist of human variety.
Yeah, yeah.
You jump up on them, and they go to scream because they have been completely surprised by this. And you clack your bones over their mouth. Now, interesting point of order here. How well do bones really muffle sound? Without fleshy bits to like seal the sound in.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't know.
I would say that this is you're doing your best.
Yeah.
And it is muffling the sound to some degree. You think that this is a band-aid fix at best for the yelling. So Zeno and Ham, you're up.
Zeno, any ideas?
Also, I just want to say real quick, because I'm reading the chat, the only thing that I can think of right now is that instead of holding the finger that we found, like, you know, in a bag or a pouch or something to give it back to the person, I definitely imagine Ham just attached it as a 6th
Another
finger.
finger.
Yeah.
That's
That's all
very
I can
good.
think of now because I thought of more skeletony. They grow extra bones, and I was like, you have an extra bone.
I do.
Maybe you already
Amazing.
had 6 fingers. Now you have 7.
Do you want
Can
to attack? Do you want to help?
yeah, can I go in there and try to attack?
Yes, you can. Do you have a weapon?
Yeah, the scimitar? Is
All
that
right. So you can roll your d10 to see if you hit.
I rolled an 8.
Yep, that definitely hits. So now you roll a d6 for damage.
Okay. 4.
Nice. So you hit with a 4, and you see as you kind of come in to hit this this cultist, they're trying to yell past the fingers of Diz, and you slash your scimitar in, and you see them crumple to the ground, dead. You have defeated your first cultist. Congratulations, crew! You have slain a wild villain. And the room is now yours, but you do recall that he did get a chance to yell a couple of times before you were able to take him out. So keep that in mind.
Okay. I have okay. Can you describe what else is in this room if I want to look for
Totally.
things?
Yes. So in the room, you see against the wall back where you have jumped on this dead cultist's back and fallen now to the ground. You know that they were rummaging through something before you attacked them. So in the back of the room, there is this box that they were rummaging through, and it seems like kind of a storage unit where this was pulled from, with several other boxes stacked on it. Additionally, in the center of the room, is a low table where there are some papers stacked, and against one wall there's a shelf with some books, and then like a vase with some flowers and some sort of little it's hard to tell, but it's like a trinket box of some kind. And then hanging on the wall are is like on a hook is one of these robes, and something underneath it that you can't quite see.
Okay. I would like to very cat-like just push the vase over.
Okay, yeah, it falls to the ground, shatters. The flowers now strewn about. Out in the hallway, you hear, "What was that?" And
Whoops. Not very so stealthy, but just impulses.
impulses. What can you do?
Yeah.
Could I take
Yeah.
the robe and put it on?
Yes. So you pull the robe off the hook and quickly throw it on, and you now have this robe on you and your little skeleton head sticking out. Zeno and Ham, anything you want to look into?
I was thinking I was kind of like in the doorway, so could I look out in the hall and see if there are people who are
Yep.
hearing
Um,
this?
yeah, you look out in the hall, no roll needed. You see now two people in the same cultist robes. These ones, unlike the last one who was kind of like stooped over and had kind of wispy whitish hair, these ones are a little taller standing, a little broader shouldered, short, but present. They're not fully bald. Kind of uh, darker hair that you can see growing, not very tall, almost buzz cut in, on their heads, and they are making their way down the hall. You think, in fact, that based on the way that one of them is kind of turning, that maybe they came from the stairs, and they're talking to each other, but you think coming to investigate this sound.
Do I have a moment to see if there's anything important in the papers on the table?
Sure. Go ahead, and so you're going to have to do this kind of fast if you want to do it before the other cultists make it. So that's going to make it a little harder to do, but that's okay. You just have to roll better. So roll your d10, and let's see what you get.
At a 5.
So you start rummaging through the papers, and as you're kind of rummaging through, you're realizing quickly, like, oh, this wasn't a language you spoke when you were alive. And you, if there are important papers, you would need more time to like spend and really sit through and sift and find something. And so at this point, you are not able to discern any of that. And right about this time, in the doorway, Zeno sees one of them cultists look up and clock Zeno, and like, not again, and they start running for you.
May I attempt to shoot them with my bow and arrow?
You may attempt to shoot one of them with your bow and arrow. Go ahead and give me a d10.
A 9.
That definitely hits. Good hit. Roll your damage. So that's a
A
d6.
6.
Okay, that's a big hit. Cr- that's as good as it gets. You pierce one of these charging monks. Sorry, cultists, straight in the throat, and you see them reel back and clutch at their throat and fall backwards. And the other one, like quickly kind of takes an evasive move and reaches out and pulls you into the hallway and slams you against the wall. So you're going to take damage now. So go ahead and roll a d10, and this will determine where you take damage.
A 1.
Okay, a one is your right leg. So go ahead and cross off one hitbox on your right leg. And as you do this, your right leg detaches. You are now missing this body part. So your right leg and we'll say from like, your where it meets your hip or your pelvis, down to your foot and all just falls off. And it's now laying on the ground, and you are wobbling, but pushed against the wall, so you have something to brace yourself against. And the the human has not entered the room; they are out in the hallway with Zeno.
And I yell, "Ow, my bones!" So they can, hear that
Yep.
my bones are falling.
Yes, you let them know you are not impressed
Yeah.
by your bones coming off.
Can I rush out and attack?
Yes,
Avenge my friend's fallen leg?
yes. Go ahead and rush out and make your attack roll.
Okay. Um, a 9
Definitely
on a
hits.
D10. Yeah.
hmm Roll damage.
The D4 is 2.
Okay, so you'll reduce the enemy's toughness by one, and you slash out. You have a dagger, right? So you slash out with your
Yeah.
dagger, and it nicks them across the arm, and they reel back from Zeno, and they turn to face you. Diz and Ham, are you doing anything?
Can I tell if the one on the floor is dead or just struggling?
Um, the one in the hallway that was
Yeah.
shot. So you poke your head out to look, or you come around out to look and make sure. Dead.
Okay. Cool. Um. Yeah. I see my friend is missing a leg, or my at least my companion is missing a leg. It's not a good look for me if the person I'm trying to take this dungeon with is missing a leg. So um I will run up behind and I'll take a stab at this guy in his leg.
All right, go for it.
That's an 8.
Definitely hits. Roll damage.
2.
All right, you reduce their toughness by one. And now they have a gash on their arm, a gash on their leg. Then they look around. They're like, "There's so many of them," and they start reaching into their pocket. But Ham, you will get a turn before they get to whatever it is they're reaching for.
Um, I am wondering if this guy has any like helpful information we could use, because you said that they came up from downstairs, it looked like. Is there
Mhm.
like any way to like make it so he could stop, or could I only attack?
You can absolutely try anything that you want. So if Ham's thinking about like how would I get them to stop like fighting, how would I get them to like hold still enough or like listen, what would you do to do that?
I mean, my first thought would just be like to tackle the guy to the ground at this point. He's already
Yeah.
injured.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to essentially like grapple and restrain this person.
So the 10 still.
Yep. Roll a d10.
Well, I rolled a 3.
Okay, you charge out to grapple them, and as you kind of like launch yourself. Quick question: which? Oh my gosh, I need to write down your ancestry so I stop forgetting.
Work.
Orc, you get a +1 to that,
So 4.
so 4. That's not enough. Sorry, I
Not,
got so
yeah, it's
excited to
not
give
very
you your plus
good.
one. That wasn't enough. Yeah, you run out to help by grappling, and you go to tackle this person to the ground, and they see you coming, and they like lash out and kick you aside, and you are going to take damage from the kick. So go ahead and roll a d10 to determine where that blow lands.
To be fair,
11.
your skeleton probably only weighs like 25 pounds if we're going like
Hard to
actual.
tackle.
Yeah.
Did you say 7?
11.
It's a d10.
11?
I was
It
gonna
is
say
a
you can't.
D10. What is
Is
this?
that a
I grabbed the
d12?
wrong. Let me go back to the computer. One moment, please.
Have you been rolling a d12 this
I
whole
must have been.
time?
Sorry, guys. I rolled a 9.
A 9 is your left arm. So this kick,
Okay.
surprisingly agile, high kick from this cultist, lashes out, catches your left arm. You should mark 1 damage to your left arm, and it falls off.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Is that the arm you're holding your sword in? Hopefully not.
Don't know.
Well, what arm
I,
has all of the extra armor on it?
the right arm.
Okay, so probably.
Okay. So the cultist pulls out of their pocket a big heavy bell, and kind of one-handed pulls like a dimmer off of the clapper and just starts bah, 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 like just it's still a hand bell. It's not that loud, but it's definitely sounding an alarm. We are back to Rock or Zeno if you would like to act.
Can I pick up and
Oh boy.
reattach my leg?
Yes, let me see. Yes, you can reattach your leg. So yeah, you now have both of your legs, but the damage remains. So if you take another hit to your leg, you it will be destroyed.
Yep.
Okay. Um, Rock.
Can I like yank the bell out of this man's hand?
Yes. Go ahead and roll a d10.
I got a 10.
Well, that's gonna do it. You yank the bell out of their hand, and they turn to face you, and they're like, "If this is how I die, I'm proud to go down for my god." And
Oh
you
no.
are now faced with this angry cultist who's bracing themselves. Diz.
uh, as you grab the bell, I'm gonna yell at you to throw it into the room that we were just in. Like I'll just say, "Throw the bell."
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
say
Um,
you can do
yeah,
that.
maybe don't have it
I'll
on
do
your
that.
person. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Because I'm in the
Um,
robes too, so.
oh yeah, maybe you could really pretend to be one of these guys. I don't know.
Okay. I
Um,
mean,
I'm gonna stab him.
Okay, stab him.
Oh, that's only a 3.
You go to stab, and it much better prepared than for the first 2 hits. They kind of nimbly dodge out of the way, and they are going to, as you come in to stab them, they're going to try to like catch your arm to try and disarm you, but they're going to not succeed at the actual disarming. Instead, they'll just deal a heavy blow to your, I would say shoulder, but we have to roll to find out where they deal this heavy blow to.
Mm-hmm. That's my right arm.
Okay, so that kind of it works. They did blow a heavy, get it on your shoulder, and so yeah, your arm as you come in to try and stab at that, and they dodge. They manage to knock this off. So go ahead and write or mark off 1 damage hitbox on your right arm, and it falls to the ground. Still clutching its bone dagger, but no longer attached to your body. Ham.
Um, I mean, I think I dropped my weapon when I dropped my arm, right? That's what we decided.
Yes.
Um,
could I interject?
Yeah.
Say something to Ham?
Yeah. Definitely.
I would suggest maybe don't kill him, see if he can help us somehow.
You
Like
also are allowed to
reading
make an
the thing.
unarmed attack, or like use your other arm. And it can be some you can say like I'd like to, yeah, like blow him across the head and knock him out or something, and then we would not do lethal damage.
Okay, then perhaps I'll do that.
Okay.
Definitely an unarmed attack because you are missing an arm.
All right, so you go for this kind of blow across the head. We'll just have this be, a somewhat challenging roll, but if you hit it, then, or if you hit the difficulty rating of this roll, then you'll successfully knock them out and not do damage to kill them. So you do get +1 as an orc. So go ahead and roll your d10 +1.
Oh. Ew.
Oh no, what'd you roll?
A 1.
A 1. Okay.
Yep.
You go for this blow with your right arm, and again, this person is just like they're in the zone now. It's like they're a boxer. They're ducking. They're weaving. They're managing to evade your blows. And you hear now coming up the stairs, two more sets of footsteps. Zeno.
Can I shoot him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Got a 10.
Yep, that definitely hits. Roll
Okay.
damage.
A 5.
All right. You kill them. They're down.
Cool.
They another just beautiful, glorious shot. And you have now two bodies of these cultists in the hallway. One of blood. There's no way to cover this up in time. But you have killed both of the cultists. You can gather your fallen limbs, and either run or wait for these next two to come up the stairs, or set up an ambush, whatever you think would be good.
I am so glad that we brought you.
Yeah, I'm, confused and nervous, but I'm doing pretty good. So, I think I'm gonna try to find my way out of there.
And go where?
Um,
I would be too nervous to walk through a doorway that we don't know anything about.
right.
So like maybe we should duck back into the room and close it?
We did throw that bell into that room, though, right? So, like, the most recent bell noise came from the place we were trying to hide.
Yeah,
Just to
maybe.
clarify.
And it seems like they're
Could
coming
we-
up from the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
Could we like wait for them to come up and then lock them in that room, shut them in there if they go in there?
Yeah, if you all want to like make kind of stealth or like rolls to see if you can kind of hide yourselves enough that like if they poke their head around, you like shove them in the room and close the door and close them in. Then let's have a group stealth check, if that's going to be the plan. So everybody roll a d10. If you get a stealth bonus, add your stealth bonus.
I got a 10.
11.
Ooh.
I got a 9.
7.
Well, damn. Yeah, I'd say that we did it. You quickly, as if following Diz's hand signals to the T, somehow you all managed to do exactly perfectly, as if you've practiced this 1,000 times. Maybe the wizard has even taught you a few things about how to lay a proper ambush for people who are, and you all kind of just almost as if you blend in with the stone for a moment. These two cultists come up the stairs kind of at a quick pace. And they turn the corner and they're looking, and one of them turns to the other and says, "I think it came from that way." And the other one nods, and they start coming around and like as a group, you fall forward on them, shove them, surprise them into the room, slam the door, and now let's see. I would say Ham and Rock, you are holding the door shut, but it is not locked from the inside or outside right now.
Is there a way to lock
now,
it if we
guys.
like shove something through the handle?
Yeah, you can kind of finagle something in there. You're gonna need something to shove in there. You got some bones on you. You got some
I have a
axes.
bow and arrow, and I don't think the arrows are going to be strong enough.
Definitely don't.
So,
You know what? I have 2 daggers, and I hate to not have an extra dagger on me. However, I will try and jam my dagger in there so that it.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll a d10. See if you can get this to lodge in there.
7.
Yeah, that'll do it. So you jam your dagger in and lock them in. You hear them pounding. Hey, hey, let us out. Hey. One of them goes, oh my God, I think Steve is dead. And um, yeah, the group of them now are locked in that room. So you now have in the hallway 2 dead cultists, one of whom has been bleeding out for a while, and there's a big pool of blood. You have Rock wearing a robe of the occultist robe, and you have, let's see, a couple of you missing limbs still.
Oh yeah, I will probably want to go put my arm back on.
Okay, back into socket. Yeah, Steve is a good shout out to our Spire players who have named so many NPCs Steve at this point.
Did I also reattach my arm?
Yep.
Awesome.
All right. Is that everybody who took damage? You all have your limbs reattached?
Yep.
Okay. So limbs reattached, 1 dagger down, but otherwise not too much worse for wear. You have now killed 3 villains. Congratulations. You are quickly blowing through your goals of slay villains. Now you just have to get some cool treasure and perform some well, I'd say we've performed some legendary deeds. So you are now in this hallway. You're aware that like there's still the pounding on the door, there was the bell, like this may not be the end of people coming to investigate the ruckus. However, you have a minute to kind of gather your wits. So you went into that door on the left of the hallway, or on the left of the stairwell. There's also the door on the right of the stairwell, and the larger doors behind you, or you can retreat back to the vestibule and regroup, whatever you want to do.
I mean, do we think that there are people down there still? Because they did come up and try and help their friends, so there might not be any people down there. But I would also hate to get like stuck in a basement with a bunch of people. You know, if they have the high ground, it's over.
It's over, Anakin.
So I'm going to defer to my comrades for this one. I'm out of
behind
bright
the other
ideas.
door, can I like listen, see if
Which door? So there's the one to the right or the double doors behind you?
the one to the right?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll to kind of listen at that door, see if you hear anything.
At a 2.
All right. With a 2, much like Diz, feeling like there's nothing going on behind that door.
Mhm. So I go,
I
Very
don't
good.
get it. I don't get it. What are they doing? Just open the door.
I don't open the door.
I assume
I
that
can go
people
over
are.
and open the door.
All right.
Sorry.
I
Rock
trust my
goes.
elf friend.
Yeah, you're so trusting today. You're really turning over a new page with your friends.
Yeah.
You push the door open, and you see that inside here is a kind of a largish room. It's quite warm in here, and there's nobody in here right now. Instead, you see against one wall a fireplace that's cooling. It's not just a fireplace. It looks more like some strange human contraption, something kind of rounded and tall with an opening that has flames that might be inside. And you can see sitting on the counters, there's some half finished loaves of bread, which you've seen your wizard eating before. And you think, and then like against the wall, there are kind of shelves with different implements. You're not sure what torture implements, something of the sort. There's large blades, some big pots where you could boil oil to throw on invaders to your dungeon, things like that.
Interesting.
Nobody's in here.
What are we doing, guys?
You're muted, Lizzie.
I'm muted. I'm not muted. I heard large knives. So, any of those knives look like they could replace the one that I've had?
Yeah, you can go in there and grab yourself a nice dagger. So this is essentially a big kitchen knife, but you can use it as a
Mm-hmm.
dagger. So it'll still have the or it'll have the D4 damage. And you're also going to get a +1 to hit with this because it's nicer make than just your bone
Ooh,
dagger.
very cool. Okay. I like this one. It's not made out of my dead friend.
I'd say I follow behind, look for anything that I could use as an arrow, possibly, and just looking around. Nobody's in there.
Looking for more arrows.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a d10. We'll see about kind of as an investigation, see if you can find anything useful.
7.
So on a 7, you rummage around in here. Is there anything that would function as an arrow? Not particularly, but what you do find as you go through this is on one shelf in the back, kind of up high, you're like, aha, maybe they keep their good arrows up here. And you kind of climb up to see what's up there. Instead, you find a little vial of something. And as you pull it down and hold it up to the light, you remember your wizard once upon a time showing this to you as Lulu the Great, the skeleton, the very same skeleton whose finger you have discovered in this was being healed from leading a skeleton army into a courageous battle, and showing this type of thing to you and saying that this would help if you were ever hurt, and then giving it to Lulu, and you watch like cracks in Lulu's arm and leg kind of repair themselves. So over the table, this is a potion of repair, and so your character also knows that drinking this would heal damage taken. It won't reattach limbs or fix a totally broken bone, but any hitboxes marked off you can erase.
Okay, yeah, I'll drink it.
Okay. Yeah, you drink the potion of repair. You can erase any of the hitboxes that you have marked off.
I want to hand you a wooden spoon and be like, "Can you shoot this out of the bow?"
Okay. And then I try to just shoot it at you.
Don't shoot it at me.
I
Yeah,
got one.
yeah, you try. There's no knock at the end to hold on the thing, and your bowstring just keeps just keeps flying off the end.
I'm glad it wasn't a good arrow then.
Yeah. I didn't think it would be, so.
Ham, you doing anything?
I think that I'm still out in the hallway right now. I never went in. Um, could I like creep on over towards the staircase and listen to see if I hear any updates from down there?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Give me your D10
Okay.
roll.
A 1. I assume I hear nothing.
You hear nothing. Yeah, you listen. This stairwell remains your mortal enemy. None of you have yet managed to crack the puzzle of the stairwell, which has no bars, no locks, no grates, no doors. Um, but you sure can't figure out anything about this stairwell.
Hmm.
I mean, we are really not perceptive.
You're not a
No.
perceptive group. Yeah,
No.
that's simply by will of the dice. Nothing. Your character -3 to perception checks.
Yeah. Might as well.
All right.
Yeah, I'll ask what did I forget? I'll ask Rock. I'll be like, "All right, Rock, where do we go next? You made the way into the door first."
Hmm. Let's take a vote, shall we? Should we go through the double doors next, or should we go downstairs?
Double doors.
1 for double doors,
Yeah, I'm down for the double doors.
2 for double doors.
Yeah, no, I'll go where you go.
Ham's not even in the room, so Ham doesn't
Nope.
get a vote.
Ham
I'm
doesn't get a
not.
vote.
From the hallway,
just
Ham's
in the
like,
hallway.
Just confused in the hallway.
You're just like 1,000-yard stare like towards the double doors. You're just like,
All right, let's go. I'll go and listen at the double doors.
All right, give me your D10. See
oh
if anybody
no.
can perceive something today.
Yeah, more
I
than
got
a
an
2.
8.
Hey.
That's good. Okay, with an 8, you listen. You do hear some movement. You hear some hushed whispers. Um, it's enough. I mean, with an 8, like through the double doors, you hear like some voices being like, "Did you hear that? I think something's going on." Like people are behind these doors and they have been alerted that something's going on, but they also don't seem to be keen on just like rushing out right away.
Okay, so gonna tell everybody, hey, there's people back there, or there's cultists back there. Maybe let's go downstairs first, since none of us have heard anything from down there. Cool? Cool. I'll
Yeah.
go ahead and start sneaking down the
Alright.
stairs then.
All right. So you're going stealthily. If everyone would like
Yeah.
to be stealthy, go ahead and give me your D10. And if you have a stealth bonus, add it.
I
Is
got a 9.
I have +1 to moving. Is that stealth bonus?
Stealth is its own thing because goblins get a +1 to sneaking.
I had a 7.
I got a 6.
I think I fell down the stairs.
Uh-oh. What'd you roll?
I got a 2, but I rolled a 1.
Okay. So you all like very cartoon like, did you right, and then just like from behind you hear like crash 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 clatter 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 down the stairs, um and you see Diz just kind of falling over herself down these stairs until you're down at the bottom. Hey, good news, Diz, you look around, no cultists are waiting for you down here.
Yeah, I see the room upside down as my feet are above my head.
Yeah, and so what you do see, and as the rest of you come down, is there is some metal grating, kind of not too far from where you landed, that kind of leads back into this area. But it's a door, it's a gate that is see through. You can see through what you're looking at, and as you kind of right yourself, and the rest of you come down the stairs and turn and look, you see that this looks this looks a little more like home, which is to say, in human terms, a little more like a dungeon. And you seem to have found, where you would keep your prisoners and things of this nature, quite normal and natural to you all. And as you kind of peer around and look through here, you look down through this gate, which is locked and closed. There's a big key like lock on there, and you look down the the way, and you can see in one of these like rooms to the side, you see Lulu the Great sitting there, holding her left hand, which is missing its pointer finger, and just kind of looking at it sadly. And yes, you recognize from anywhere, you would recognize the skeleton of the leadership of your skeletal army, and the very cool, like she has like some cool shoulder, like what are they called, like epaulets, the kind of neat like shoulder military designation things that kind of sweep out from there, and they look a little worse for wear, like maybe she's been in a fight and hasn't had a chance to like straighten herself out, but she is definitely captured inside one of these prison cells.
Can I ask her what's going on, how she got there?
Yeah, you would do
Okay.
this by going, hey Lulu.
Hey, Lulu, what's going on?
As you do that, she looks up suddenly and sees you. She stands up, and you see like with missing her one finger, she seems almost clumsy without it, as if any skeleton missing a piece of themselves is not quite whole, is not quite there without even something as small as a finger. Pulls herself up to the edge of the cage and peers out, and looks through and is like, Ham, is that you? Oh my, what are you doing here? You shouldn't. This is a very dangerous dungeon.
Do you hold up your hand with the 6 fingers on it?
Yeah, can I like give it back to her so she could put it
You're
back
too
on?
far away.
Okay.
Yeah, she's down the hall enough. You could try like throwing it through the thing. I'm going to tell you right now, it would be pretty hard to get it to like go through this set of bars and that set of bars and
Yeah.
land where she can actually reach it.
Hmm.
Can you use it as a lockpick?
Or perhaps look for the keys to get in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of like take a minute to look as Lulu is like, I can't believe you're here. You're supposed did the wizard send you? I thought I was far too expensive. I mean, she can just raise more skeletons if she doesn't. I don't get it. And so as Lulu is kind of contemplating undeath and re-life, you start to look over the lock and examine it. Go ahead and investigate this with your a D10 roll.
7.
Yeah, with a 7, you get the sense that this would a skeleton key sure would work on this door, and you're not sure. You could try to pick it, but it does look like the machine or like the inner workings of it are too small and fine for the points of fingers. So you would need some sort of tools if you did not have the key to actually get in there and pick this lock.
Anybody have any ideas?
Talk to her. What happened? What's going on? Where are we?
Zeno, oh God, I can't believe you're all so young too, just freshly reanimated not so long ago. Did the wizard send you? Is this a rescue? How did she even know?
No, it was just boring there. We just wanted to get out of town.
Oh, your gap year. Okay.
Yeah.
Lulu kind of like nods and slumps against the wall a little bit, and is like, well, I wasn't supposed to tell anyone, but the wizard did want me to come here looking for something very important. Unfortunately, I was captured before I was able to find it. And now I'm stuck. 3 others were captured with me. They're all too hurt, and she kind of gestures down the hall. You can see now like some little feet sticking up. They're not dead. They're just kind of slumped against the wall. She's like, they're very hurt. They need to have entire limbs reattached. I can't. And she holds her 3-fingered hand out of the thing. Is like, even I lost a limb. Well, an extremity. Um, it was a tough fight, but we were captured in the end, and it sounds like it's terrible. They want to do experiments on us. They say they need to understand how we're being held together and how we can do things like see and smell and hear without flesh, as if flesh is the only thing that gives people. And she starts to get upset, um, as if flesh is the only thing that gives people the sentience and perception. She kind of brings herself back together, and looks out, and she's like, listen, you have to get past the cultists. In the room upstairs, there's a key. The leader of this place, the leader of the cultists, this kind of older person named Steve, um, keeps the key in his office. And if you can get the key down here, you can get me and our 3 fellow skeletons out, and we can find what the wizard sent us after.
I think we might have killed Steve.
Oh,
And
that's so unfortunate. So my dagger is currently stuck, real jammed in. I don't know if I could take it out. That door up there that Steve was in, yeah, I mean, like Zeno said, we killed him. Um, uh, It should have looked for a key. Yeah, that would have been good. Um, but yeah, we can go get that, I guess.
She kind of nods and is very impressed that you killed Steve. Wow, I mean the leader, that's their wizard. I can't You killed Steve. Oh, the four of you are up for promotions for sure.
We also killed a couple other guys. So there are plenty of bones if you guys need replacements.
Great, great. We're definitely going to need some bones for these fellows over here, just behind her. And then as she's kind of like looking out, she's thinking, and she's like, you know, Rock, you're wearing that robe. That's not a half bad idea. Um, I know before I was captured, we were able to get down a little bit the other hallway. You know how when you came in the door, there's a hallway to the left, hallway to the right. We were able to get down the other hallway a little, and there was a room full of places for people to sleep, and they all had their stuff just laying around in there. So I suppose if you could get robes, there's also one of the treasures that the wizard wanted me to get here, is a hat, um, hat of disguise. And if you were able to get the hat, you could even look like you have flesh. I think the hat is in the library. And the library is one of those big rooms. It's one of their big ones. It's where they keep all their knowledge and stuff.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of the layout from where we came from.
So if you go back up the stairs, it's
Mhm.
possible that the library is the double doors that you heard people behind. And then on your way
Okay.
back into the vestibule, you would pass Steve's office. And then on the other side of the vestibule, down the other hallway, is this essentially a dormitory that they have told you about, where there would be access to more robes and things if you wanted to disguise yourselves as cultists.
Okay. And there's 2 dead cultists in the hallway.
Yes.
Can I take the robes off, go back and take the robes off of them?
Yeah, if you want to go do that, or if the group is going to go back upstairs, one of them was definitely laying in a pool of blood for a while, so
Okay,
that one
that
is
might not work.
probably a little too blood soaked to be. I mean, you could still wear it if it might be better than nothing, but it is, you know, a blood soaked thing.
I just got beyond jerkied.
I have not tried that yet. I'm vegetarian, and I
It's good.
generally really like Beyond Meat stuff, and I haven't tried their jerky yet, so
Very
It's
good.
really
jealous.
good.
All right, duly noted. I will check it out. um, so yeah, one of
Not
them,
sponsored.
not sponsored. Although this is another joke. So the game that I've GM'd for like 2 years on Helpful Goat is called Spire, and we always do like silly things that sponsor us. And one of our players, Ava, will always be like sponsored by Skittles, and it's just like always just lies, you know. So maybe a sponsor. Um, yeah. So anyway, yes, so you could probably get one of those robes. The other one would be very bloody, but you could make it work if you had to, probably. And then that would get you up to you plus 2 others in robes, one of whom would be in a very bloody robe.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go and grab the non-bloody robe and give it to Diz, and then maybe the 2 of us could go, like, search the other areas while, Ham and Zeno maybe hang back. What do you guys think? This is
Sounds good
up
to
for
me.
debate.
That's
You
okay.
guys should go
Okay.
sneak and try to get me a robe, probably.
I think
Yeah.
we need to get that key.
But I
Yeah,
think we
you wanna
need
go into
robes for
there?
that.
No, but I think we need to get
I
that
mean,
key.
we could go into that room with those cultists and just try and massacre everyone.
I like where your head's at.
It might be
Do
a
you wanna
little
sneak
noisy,
in there?
though. There could be other people.
It's going to be hard to sneak into a room that we have to unjam the lock from.
And that
Yeah, I
people are
forgot
trying
about
to
that.
escape
Stealth is
from.
kind of my thing, and I know that's not
Yeah,
going to fly.
Lulu's
I
like,
kind of forgot about that part.
you jammed them in there. Could you pretend you're rescuing them?
Oh, that's a good idea.
I kind of thought
I've
about
got the
that.
robe on. Does it have a
+1 to
hood?
speaking, so I don't know if
Oh, that
Yes,
might be good. Do
over
you
the
want to wear
table,
the
like
robe?
you could definitely use your +1 to speaking to like talk to them through the door and try and convince them like I'm someone who's here to help you or whatever.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Things go bad, I'll stab their kneecaps. Don't worry.
Mhm.
What should I say to them? 'Cause I'll do it,
Hey,
guys.
I'm not much of a
Hey,
speaker.
hey, guys.
Yeah.
Don't
Is there
worry,
a
I'll
key
have
there?
you out in no time.
I'm trying to unlock your door.
I mean, we just reassure them that we're helping them, and then throw the door open and absolutely like clobber them. You know.
Mhm.
That sounds like a great plan.
Okay.
All you have to do is be like, "We'll be in there soon. Don't worry."
War crimes according to the Geneva Convention, but
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Literal war
Uh-huh.
crimes, but I'll do it.
All
Yeah.
right.
So I'll go up there, be like, "Hello? Are
okay.
people in there?"
So let's pause here. Let's take our break because we've been on since 6:30. So even though we started at 7, that's still a long time for all of us to just be sitting here. So let's take our break. So Galway, if you're there, okay, we will be back in about 10 minutes. So 8:33 Mountain Time or 10:33 Eastern Time. See you soon. Hello, it's me again, and my players, who have all magically nothing, absolutely nothing. It's completely normal. What are you talking about?
This is how it was.
Yeah.
Also, our very first unhelpful goat, as far as I know, snake cam. We have
Yeah.
lots of cat cams and dog cams. But there's our very first. Hello, little friend.
So handsome.
So handsome. This is Rogue, I was told at break. Okay, hello. And another fun, helpful goat first is the call is coming from inside the house. Oh, look at that. People who know each other in meat space. Isn't that
You left
weird?
your Fritos.
What will you do without your Fritos? It's difficult.
Oh.
Um, thank you, everyone, for sticking with us. We're having a lot of fun. So we're going to jump into our second half. Our players have concocted a plan to go upstairs and to go upstairs where they have left two bodies of cultists in the hallway. There are some other cultists behind some double doors that may or may not lead to a library where a hat of disguise is reported to be. And there's so much happening. um, there
Sorry.
You're fine. um, there is a dead leader of the cultists named Steve, locked in a room with two other cultists who are going to be tricked, we hope, into thinking that they're coming to rescue them, and then war crimes will be committed as instead they ambush them. And this is roughly the plan. So, players, we are picking up in the dungeon. You have made your plan. I believe part of the plan was to transfer the robe currently on Rock over to Zeno. Is that correct? Or does that matter?
That necessarily matters.
Okay. All right. How are you proceeding?
Well, I will go back up to, I guess, Steve's office.
Mm-hmm. As you come up the stairs, go ahead and roll a d10 for me.
A 10.
Okay, finally, when you didn't know you were rolling perception, you rolled perception nicely. As you're coming up the stairs, you can hear at the top of the stairs, there's still some muffled noise happening there. Um, with a 10, which is very good, you kind of pause and listen, and you hear it is a conversation happening over to the left, which is Steve's office. You think that it's people inside the room talking to each other already. So you can't tell for sure, but you're pretty sure there's not anyone talking to them through the door on the other side, like you were about to. But they seem to be conversing amongst themselves in there. And there's enough noise that, like, you hear a bit of almost like shouting from one side of the hall to the other. And you think that perhaps the double doors have been like opened and someone's like yelling down the hall to see like if anyone's there, and the people on the other side of Steve's office door have kind of tried to respond. That's what you can kind of take. So take lay of the land there. So you know that the from the double doors, they may or may not be open right now, but someone was yelling across the hall, and then from Steve's office, they were trying to respond. So the two groups are trying to communicate.
Okay. I don't know if I should go talk to them if there's other people also trying to talk to them. But I think I will anyways. I have +1 to speaking.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go up to the door,
Okay.
pretending to be one of them. What do I say?
I'll go up with you.
You're sneaky. So
Yeah.
okay.
Well, was the group going to kind of go and ambush together? Because there's two of them in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you
I
guys
think that was the plan.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So all four of you go. Zeno kind of takes point. The rest of you kind of lay in wait as Zeno kind of approaches and gathers wits to say.
Hello? Did the intruders trap you in there? Steve, are you in your office?
Oh, very good using the name. You hear immediately back. Oh, who is that? Who is that? Steve. Steve's dead. Oh my God! Like,
Oh my
we've been.
god. Steve.
I know it's terrible. He's so old and fragile.
Oh,
Um, who is that? Are you? Can you get us out of here? We think they're trying to head further into, maybe
I kind of
downstairs to.
wiggle the door, trying to open it, and go, it's jammed. There's a dagger in here, but we caught the intruders, and then I rattle some
Yeah,
bones
I'll rattle
around.
my broken arm.
Okay. Go ahead, Zeno, and roll to deceive them. So this is a +1 because it's speaking.
I got an 8, so a 9.
Nice, very good. They hear the rattling sounds of the bones, and they just like, oh, thank God. Oh God. Okay, well, that's great. We're gonna need to throw them in there with the rest of them to see what kind of magic is keeping them together. Because that old wizard up the hill, you know how we got to figure something out.
Yeah, we got to get these guys locked up. Do you know where the key is for the
Uh,
dungeon?
uh. I think Steve usually hang on. Steve usually keeps it in here. We can, if you work on getting the door open, we'll get the key, and you hear them start to
Okay.
rummage around inside there.
I'm gonna get you out of there, guys. Let's do this. Rattling the door, making bone sounds.
Rock, you kind of pulled up the rear of this group and are waiting, and you see that across the hall, the what might be the library, those doors, those double doors, where people have been yelling, they hear this kind of friendly appearance of, oh, the intruders are caught, and you start to see the door slide open.
Can I run over there really quick and block the doors, either put my dagger in or whatever to make sure they can't open them and come out?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a d10.
I got a 6.
Okay, with a 6, you manage to run over in time and kind of pull the door shut again, but you can't quite find a way to wedge something in there and close it. And you hear one of the people behind the door go, "What's going on? I thought that was the all clear. Is there something wrong?"
There's dead bodies out
Um,
here. It's traumatizing.
yeah.
Yeah. Go.
I'll let Zeno speak on that.
Okay. As you tell them there's dead bodies out here, roll deception again, the D10 +1. And I'm actually going to give you a second +1 to this. So you can add 2 because these are librarians. You were talking to soldiers before, but you're talking to librarians. They don't want to see dead bodies.
Okay, I got a 5, so a 7.
Nice. That's enough. They kind of go, oh, okay. We can wait. For a minute. Who died?
It's so bloody. I don't even want to look.
Oh no.
We'll tally
Okay.
it up eventually.
Okay. As you kind of say that, you hear, um, and Lena, you are right. It is traumatizing. It's not deception, it's persuasion. Um, but yes, you hear from the other side of Steve's office door, you hear one of the soldiers, the guards from the dungeon go, "Oh, we got the key. We found it. Any progress on the door?"
No, this is pretty stuck. I don't know what they did here. Do you think you could get the key out? Could you slide it under the door?
Um,
I gotta get these bones in there before they reanimate or whatever.
um, roll persuasion again, D10 +1.
I got a 3, so
Um,
4.
uh, with a 4, that's not enough to do it. You hear them say, I don't think that's the best choice. I think we should all go together. I mean, there's enough of them, and we've been surprised enough tonight. We can't, after losing Steve and I don't
Ugh.
know, Kevin, we can't risk losing someone else.
You're right. I'm gonna go look for some more help.
Okay. So you kind of back away, and you now have the librarians contained because they don't want to see the bodies, and the key is found, but still on the other side of the door with the guards.
Hmm.
Well, we could go back to our original plan. I say very quietly, so no one else can hear.
Yes, good.
Um, we could, you know, burst in on them.
Which one? Oh, sorry, I'm muted. Can I tell which one looked like a Kevin? That's dead on the ground.
Um, yeah, go ahead and roll roll a d10 for Kevin vibes.
That's an 8.
Um, the first one that Zeno shot speaks to you more as a Kevin.
Okay. Okay. I will. I'll stay away from Kevin's robe, and I'm also gonna don a robe. I think.
Okay.
I'll cut the bottom of it off. Obviously, I'm a lot shorter than I assume these humans are. So, yeah, I'll cut the bottom off and wear the robe. Hopefully, maybe aiding in myself.
All right. Yeah, you take the less bloodied robe, not Kevin, or at least you think not Kevin's robe.
Yeah.
And you kind of cut the bottom with your dagger, put it on over yourself, and actually cutting the bottom like really helps get some of the blood stains off. You get the worst of the stains, and you pull it on. This one does have a deep cowl too, so you can actually kind of pull it up, which is nice if you were trying to. Disguise yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, okay.
What a Kevin move to get shot in the neck.
Come on, Kevin.
Come on, Kevin. Yeah, I mean, let's go with the original plan. You open the door, I get the kneecaps. Maybe you
All right,
stand
we'll
back
both
and
come in there swinging.
yeah, Zeno, maybe you can shoot your bow from the back. You're way
Yeah.
better at this. You must have gotten a lot more train. How long have you been unalive for?
Not that long.
Just comes to you naturally.
Yeah, exactly. Probably, past life thing.
You must have been like the greatest warrior in your past life.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay, let's stab him.
Okay.
All right.
You head over to the door again. Who is opening the door?
I can open the door since I have one dagger. So then Diz can go in swinging with both hands, and then I'll have one hand to swing with,
Okay.
perhaps.
And Ham.
I will also attack.
Okay. So you'll just be prepped to kind of rush in and attack. All right.
Mhm.
So we will have kind of the order of things be Rock will pull the door open. Then will resolve 3 attacks, and then any remaining live humans in the room will get to act at that point. Okay, so Rock, you work on the door on the dagger until it finally comes loose, and you pop the door open. The door opens, you see both of these cultists are kind of standing back a little casually, looking relieved that finally help is on the way. And the 3 of you, well, the 2 of you rush in, and Zeno, you can take your shot. So all of you go ahead and roll your attacks. That's your d10, and then if you're an orc, you have a +1 to hitting.
I got a 9.
I
Nice.
got a 10.
Nice.
I got a 4.
A 6, and was the 4 plus with the +1 or not? Was.
Yes.
Okay. So all of you hit except Ham. Ham, you managed to not quite make it. And yes, so you rush in, swinging at these cultists. Surprise, it's war crimes. You're in, you're inside, and everyone who hit, go ahead and declare a target, left or right, and then tell me, then roll your damage. And also, I would like us to please tell me your targets all on a count, because I don't want you to be like, I'll wait and see who they hit and then just stack damage.
Mhm.
So on the count of three, I would like left or right from the three of you who hit. 1, 2, 3.
Left.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage.
I also just want to say I imagine Ham running in and going to slash someone, and it's just Steve again. You just like slash right into Steve's dead body.
Yeah, the dead body just kind of rolls over a little bit.
Poor Steve.
I got a 3.
Okay.
I got a 4.
Okay.
2.
All right. So two of you hit the same one and one of you hit a different one. So one of them is reduced by 2 and one of them is reduced. Wait a minute. Who hit the same one? The two who hit left were Zeno and okay, and what was Zeno your roll? 3. And your roll?
2.
2. Okay, good. So reduced by 2 for the one on the left, and for the one on the right, reduced by 1. They are the cultists kind of reel back, surprised, and one of them yells, "It was a trap!" And the other one reaches into their robe and pulls out a weapon, and is going to make a swing at. Oh, let's see. I will roll for it. Let us see. They will make their roll. Their attack at Rock. So Rock, go ahead and roll a d10 to see where you take damage.
Okay. I got a 5.
It wasn't
Okay.
a trap. There are dead bodies. Don't come out.
So 5 is your right arm. So
Okay.
go ahead and mark on the hitbox, and your right arm comes off.
Okie doke.
We do not stand arms.
Arms
Mm-mm.
are. Does your right arm still have at least one hitbox?
Yes.
Okay, so it does not break.
Cool.
Okay, and the other
I'm
one,
strong.
the other one is going to try to run out of the room, and on their way out, they'll take a swipe at Zeno. So Zeno, go ahead and roll a d10.
7.
7 is your torso.
Oh no.
Yeah, torso is a weird one because it falls off. What does it mean? um, so I think, what do we want to say happens when your torso falls off? And
This is
it
the
says
best part about being a DM is you just get to make it up.
you just get to make it up. I think that you're because it's weird because like your head can fall off. And so like but I guess it effectively comes down to the same thing. Your torso and your head are now um detached from each other. Um and we'll say your body can still, like, you are still one being connected. You still have sentience and control more or less over your body, but you'll be doing things with a level of difficulty until you manage to kind of claw your head back onto your torso.
Oh God, Zeno.
I just pretend to be a pile of bones. 'Cause I
Okay,
am.
all right.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Yeah, play
Okay,
dead.
so both of them have gone. So the one is trying to run, and the other is fighting with a weapon. So everyone, go ahead and uh, yes, hello, Kitty. It is cat cam time. Um, everybody's favorite time on Helpful Goat. What would anyone like to do?
Can one of my arms try to grab the guy's leg who's running out?
Yes, go ahead and roll. You will have a -1.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a 1.
Okay, your depth perception is so messed up because you're kind of sideways, and your
Mhm.
weird skeletal perception is just one of your eyes is kind of squished into the ground, and you make a swipe and miss the leg.
My bones just rattle on the floor. Yeah, okay.
Who else?
I'm gonna make a very niche reference because that's all that I'm thinking of now. Is from Scooby Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, the live action Scooby Doo movie. Um, when Shaggy and Scooby are being chased down the hill by the two skeleton men, and they like trade body parts. They hit like a tree, and their body parts like start stacking on top of each other. They have like two heads or whatever. That's literally the only thing I can think of right now. Because like you
Incredible.
said, you're like just a pile of bones. So now I'm thinking like, I don't know. I keep looking at you. You're right here. You are in front of me. Like your head. I don't know. That's all I could think of.
Could someone else pick up my bones and attach them to their body?
Yeah, can I do that?
Do you want two bodies, no one head?
I'll
You-
be arms on someone else's body, and then
You will simply just be your head will just be there.
I mean, someone else could attach your head to your torso if you wanted.
yeah.
I
Okay.
truly do not think I could reach it.
Well, it's she's a pile of bones. I'm sorry, they're a pile of bones. So
Yes, currently that's
Mhm.
right. You are on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not
My
do
torso fell off.
like a Zord sort of a movement here. Can I run over and put the head back on? Then if
yeah,
they're on the ground.
yep.
Okay.
You run over. No roll required to reattach a body part. You reattach Zeno's head to their torso. Zeno, you are now once again whole. Your torso still has a damage mark to it. And um, what are Rock or Ham up to?
Was there a cultist running out of the room still?
Yes, one of
Can
them is trying
I
to escape.
lunge after him?
Yep.
Can I tackle him?
Yep. Go ahead and roll that D10.
I got a 6.
6. Okay. With a 6, you do manage to kind of grab on and slow them down so they can't keep running. You don't manage to fully pull them to the ground. So you successfully kind of latch onto them, slow them down, and now they have you kind of clinging to their back.
Can I come up and attack him now?
Yep. So leaving the one in the room behind, you head out into the hall, and with the one that Rock is grappled onto, you can go ahead and roll your attack. You can have an extra +1 to this since you are getting direct help from Rock's action.
Then it will be a 7 with the +1.
Nice. That will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
On what? Is that on the D10?
Your damage, what are you attacking with? A scimitar, right? So it's a
Yeah.
D6.
Okay. Thank you. That's a 3.
Okay, that's just enough. You come out and, with Rock's help holding on, manage to slash them across the torso. And getting revenge for Zeno, who recently lost their torso, managed to kill this cultist and bring them down. So now there's the one in the room. The one in the room comes out with their weapon drawn and is going to attack. At Let's see who would be kind of most available to them. Probably that would be Diz. So Diz, they're going to slash at you with their weapon. Go ahead and roll your D10.
That's a hit to. Oh no, is that another? No, it's my left arm.
Okay, so your left arm falls off.
Yeah.
So I think you're
My
right.
other dagger.
Your other dagger. Okay, and now seeing another dead companion, this person yells to the across the hall to the library, like, "Help! Help! It's more skeletons! I need your help!" Um, and that's the end of their turn. So Zeno, what would you like to do?
Try to shoot him.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
It's just what you do best.
An 8.
An
8
8.
hits.
I swear.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
A 3.
Okay, a 3 brings their difficulty down once again. And that's the end of your turn. Others?
If this dude hit my arm, I'm gonna stab him.
Okay, you're gonna have -1 to your attack because you're missing a body part.
Yes, that's fair. Very unbalanced. 0.
You go for the swipe, and without the other hand and the other dagger, it's just too rocky, and you don't manage to land the blow.
I can head in and finish it.
All right, go ahead
Please
and
do.
Attempt to.
yeah, make your attack.
I got a 9.
That'll do it.
Do I roll the d4 too?
Yep, for damage.
3.
That's enough. You manage to slash across this cultist, and they go down as well. They have now dropped their weapon, so if somebody wants to pick it up, they could. And you you see also that underneath their robes, they have something else. Like they have like a couple pouches on their belt, kind of tucked into their robe a bit. But before you have much of a chance to do anything about that, the library doors do open, and you see two kind of timid faces poke out because they did just yell for help. This guard literally was like yelling help their skeletons, and they kind of poke their heads out and look at you, and they're not rushing out. But they are looking.
Can we convince them to stay in there?
You can certainly try.
Do we want to do that, gang?
Um,
Or do we just want to kill them?
I am not an intellectual person. Personally, I don't want to go into the library. I mean, I would like to reattach my arm, considering that was probably the biggest whiff of my life. Never rolled a 0 before,
Okay.
so.
So you reattach your arm, and the two and the two librarians are still kind of like peering out with wide eyes. And one of them kind of looks down and sees the bodies on the ground. Is like, Kevin.
Okay. Zeno has that speaking skill, right? Do you want to convince them?
Yes. I missed the past, 30 seconds before I got back, but
Well, I was also gonna say, you're wearing a robe, so like if
That's
you
true.
wanted to, if Rock wanted to try, it might be
Yeah.
better considering you kind of. I mean, if you're like backs to them,
Yeah.
maybe.
Can I like do my sleeves cover my hands? And if they do, could I be like from the back, stay in there, it's not safe?
Yes, this is going to be a -1,
Okay.
because you do still just have your little skeleton head poking out.
I was gonna say you could be like bending over Kevin, so it's like but you're
Crying.
yelling and waving your arm with your sleeve.
Yeah.
I do like this narrative, and
Yeah.
I would say, if your deception is based on trying to seem like you're still in the fight or whatever, that you might mitigate that -1 by like attacking, right? Not literally attacking, but like staging a little bit of a fight with your friends to make it seem like you're still trying to like save the day here.
Yeah, I could take a swipe at who's closest to me. Ham, I think.
Sure.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you're swiping to miss, but that can
Yeah.
help with the kind of illusion that you are doing this. So go ahead and roll your D10 deception without the -1 penalty, unless you're missing a body part. Body part?
I am not missing a
Okay,
body part.
then go ahead.
Um,
You're like,
I
oh my
am
god, they
rolling really well today. I got a
tore my
9.
head off.
Nice. Okay, with a 9, you kind of, it's not safe. Get back. And the door closes real fast again. And you've at least for the moment managed to get them to go back inside. Okay, so Ham, what you up to?
Um, both of those guys we were fighting are dead now, right?
Yes, and the second one, the one who had the weapon, has a nice weapon and some pouches on his belt that you could investigate.
Um, okay. Can I investigate his pouches, I think?
Yeah. So you no roll required. You see them, you pull them off. You pull two pouches off of his belt. One of them holds a bag of gold, and the other has a set of keys in it, which has on there not just one but two or three big skeleton keys. And so you think perhaps that these are the found keys from the abbot's office.
Mhm. I do, in fact, think that. So should we go try these keys back downstairs, guys? Thoughts?
Maybe people should pretend to keep fighting, rattling their bones, and then somebody can go down and try the keys.
Maybe like Zeno and I can stay up here. I'm since they shut the door, I'll pull a hood over myself. I'm maybe I look like Steve because I'm like hunched over, you know? I mean, I don't know how tall Steve is. I don't. He's probably a human, and I'm literally like 3 feet tall, hunched over to like 2.5. But you know, whatever. Um, yeah, and then so I'll like put the hood up, and like you can have the bow like trained towards me, but not actually like. Please don't shoot me. We already tried that. Um, so like if they open it up again, they'll like close it again, and you know whatever. I think that's a good idea. And then you guys can go help the skeletons. Maybe carry a uh maybe like carry a body down to give the ones who are missing body parts.
Their bones.
Yeah, give them their bones. Give them Kevin's bones. Well, we want them to have good bones. Give them the naked guy's bones. Take the naked guy down
Good
with
plan.
you.
All right. I can grab him. Or
Okay.
depends who's
Yeah.
stronger, I guess.
So you kind of gather up the body that which one was it? Was it Diz? Did you take the robe off this person?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the one who had been whose robe had been stolen, and you start to make the trek down the stairs. Meanwhile, upstairs, Zeno and Diz keep up a subterfuge so that if the librarians look out again, they'll stay in their library instead of continuing to or going to find help or anything. Yeah, and you get downstairs, and Lulu is waiting and looking. And as soon as you kind of turn the corner, she sees you and she's like, "Oh, I heard the fighting. I'm so glad you're all safe. Are the other two where are the other two? Where are Zeno and Diz?"
They're still upstairs creating a diversion while we can come down here and sort this out.
Okay, okay. Do you have the keys?
Yes, we found the keys. Can I
Nice.
like just start trying them?
Yep. Yeah, you start trying the keys. The first one isn't it. The second one, click, click. You feel it kind of engage with the locking mechanism, and the lock falls off of the or opens, and you're able to kind of pull it off of the door and open it up. And when you walk in to the dungeon area, there are locks on the doors as well, and so that's when you start using the other keys, and you're able to kind of get those other doors open too. And Lulu kind of comes out, claps you on the shoulder, Ham, and is just like, "Oh, it's good to be out. Thanks again. You know, the, children really are the future. um and and then turns to the other rooms, and sees the body and understands kind of what you're going for, and pulls the body over with you, and you are able to harvest some bones, for your friends, because humans, they just have so many bones in them that are going unused. And so after you manage to kind of patch everybody up, repair everybody with some human bones, from this, you now have, Lulu with her three skeletons kind of join up with you. That none of them have weapons; they've all been disarmed in whatever fight kind of ensued before they were captured. And Lulu turns and looks between Ham and Rock, and is kind of nods and is like, all right, we still have to accomplish our first mission because, well, at least, I mean, I do. You can do whatever you want. You've staged a rescue, but I'm not leaving and going back in shame. I have to make it back to the wizard's hut with uh with the things that I promised I would get from here. So you can join me, or you can continue on your walkabout.
Um, I I think that Lulu, you should know that there is a room of weapons upstairs.
a room
So they
a room
could,
of weapons.
yeah, right? There was a across the hall from the
Yeah,
office. Am I
with the
remembering
sharp
correctly?
pointy things and the
With the sharp
fire
pointy
and
things,
yeah.
yeah. In
Yeah.
there.
Um, yeah, Lulu was like, great. Let's find that, and kind of pulls up the other skeletons, who kind of fall into line, and you head back up the stairs, where upstairs, what do we find with Zeno and Diz?
Just like very poorly mimicking like Street Fighter stances, where you're kind of just like idling. I'll also see that they got Lulu, and I'll be like, Lulu, grab their weapon or whatever, because
Okay.
I remember there was another weapon on the
Yep,
ground.
there was another weapon. Okay, so Lulu hefts a nice weapon and kind of looks it over and is like, "Ha, this is a good one. Thanks for saving it for me," and clips it onto her belt, I guess. As soon as I said it, I'm like, "Why would Lulu have a belt?"
through the pelvis.
Yeah, through
Yeah,
the
just right onto the pelvis.
yeah, kind of, there's like a magnet on her rib rib cage, and just like click, just like clicks on.
She's got a metal hip.
Yeah, and yeah, so Lulu is now armed, and moves forward, over towards the kitchen where you sent her to find some other weapons, and pulls a couple daggers and, like, skewers and things like that. And now all of the skeletons are armed, and Lulu comes back out and faces the group of you and is like, right, so here's the thing. If we're going to get to the treasure, then we're going to have to fight our way through, uh, at this point, probably a lot of them. It seems likely that the only way through, um, so we have to get back, the main hall, the vestibule, and then there's that big open creepy space where they have all the really high ceilings and all those wooden benches, and if you're here at the wrong time, they make all those horrible screeching noises in there. We have to get back in there, and at the front of it, they keep, you're not going to believe this, they keep mummified limbs. It's the worst kind of sacrilege to a skeleton to keep flesh that's decayed and dried out and desiccated still on the bone. And what good is that to any skeleton? That's just the sacrilege of flesh still stuck on bones. We have to get in there. We have to get it. This saint's limb thing that they're keeping up there because the wizard needs it. She needs it for her next big spell. And for many of you who might know, in D&D, spell components sometimes require you to have like a finger of a saint or something like that, like if you're casting divine magic. And so essentially this this is, for a spell component for a wizard, that Lulu has been tasked to fetch. And so she turns to your group and she's like, "Can I count on you? Can we go in there and reclaim this horrible sacrilegious item and give it to the wizards so that it can be used for a good purpose, like animating many more of our brethren back to their undeath real life thing.
I mean, I like doing, the stabbing of the guys. You could go back and give it to them. This is your mission anyway. You should probably get all the glory for it. But we'll go get the mummified thing.
Oh yeah, well we can. I mean, we can go together if you want. I mean, we rally the troops and march in there 8 strong and um, stand a better chance. Because when we rallied the troops and marched in there 4 strong, it really wasn't enough. Like that's how we ended up in the dungeon in the first place. So, if the 4 of you want to just add your number, it would be great.
Oh yeah, let's go stab some more people.
Yeah.
All right. So the group of you, all 8 skeletons now, head up the stairs with your various weapons and sundry limbs, and you are now going to be storming the main sanctuary of this monastery to get this saint finger, whatever is there. And Lulu kind of glances over at you, Ham, and is like, "So, you got my finger, kid?"
I do. I pull it out of my pocket. I don't know.
Had you attached it to your?
Oh, you're right. I have 6 fingers. I will detach it
Okay.
and return it to its rightful owner.
Lou kind of laughs a little as she pops it into place, claps you on the shoulder and again, and is like, "One day, if you really love the idea of 6 fingers, we'll just harvest some from some of these slain cultists. We can get that for you."
Can I have some
Thank
extra
you.
arms maybe one day?
We can talk to the
Maybe.
wizard about it. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's a little harder to attach and make work, but I
Mhm,
bet we could do it. And as you're just having this nice conversation um, about whether or not you can, body modification, some new limbs, you come around the corner and you see that, yes, indeed, gathered in the monastery now to defend this relic, this, yeah, saint relic, at the front of the sanctuary, in a beautiful golden like case kind of thing. I don't know if any of y'all have actually seen, like, if you've been in old Catholic cathedrals that have actual like saint stuff in them, but it's kind of like they make these beautiful gilded golden things that hold them on like velvet pillows and stuff, and you can see up at the front this kind of thing, which is some really nice treasure by itself. I mean, there's a lot of nice gold and beautiful kind of handiwork on that, so just saying. And as you come around and you see that the cultists have kind of assembled and they have sundry weapons and things, often, or it looks like a lot of them they just kind of grabbed, and you now have your little horde of 8 skeletons going against this little group of cultists who are making their last stand to try and defend their sanctuary here. Anything you want to do to kind of get ready for, like, where would you go to kind of like get into this battle?
I sort of imagine Diz kind of like whack-a-moling herself like through I assume, they're like the big long benches in there as well. So like going like between the benches and kind of like making the way like closer and closer. Also, I would assume that's rather intimidating to see a little skeleton pop up in a bunch of different locations, but
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so you're kind of like zigging, zagging through the pews, like popping up and getting the lay of the land and going through. Others?
I think that I'm just gonna like hang out in the back and try to stay mostly hidden. Uh,
Okay,
Catch the vibe.
catch the vibe. Cool.
Are there torches around, like lighting up the room?
There are. So immediately available to you, you'd have to kind of get in a little bit, but the group is kind of moving forward. So it might be like the first thing that you have to do of like going and grabbing a torch would take up like your first turn of the combat. But yes, you could easily arm yourself with a torch.
I would like to whisper to Zeno to shoot down one of the torches and set something on fire, perhaps.
That's exactly what I was just about to say. Can I shoot them? And
Yeah.
would they catch things on fire?
Yeah, you can shoot them. There would be there are a few that are better positioned to light something on fire than others. So the closest torches to you would probably just fall kind of on stone, and roll over and continue to burn without much impact. But there are some that are a little further away and further up in the sanctuary where, if they fell, they would fall onto um, they would fall onto um, the cloth that on the altar and things like that and would catch flame.
Aim for those.
Okay. So Zeno, why don't you kick us off with the first roll, and then we'll have, and also Diz, let's have you roll to kind of scare or intimidate, like your with your little popping up, and see what effect that'll have.
I got a 6.
Okay. A 6. You see your arrow fly. It hits the torch, but just kind of, it's not enough to dislodge it. So you see it kind of like move in the sconce that keeps it on the wall, which comes kind of loose from the impact, but it's a glancing enough blow that it doesn't actually bring it down. So it will take a second hit to bring it down.
I rolled a 7.
Okay, with a 7, you see that okay, there's a group of like 8 of these cultists kind of, and the ones closest to you who are kind of like, they're already kind of shook because this is, a mob of skeletons attacking them, and several of their friends have died today. um, and you see them kind of like close ranks, and you've drawn the attention of like 2 of them, and not in the sense that they're like tracking your every movement and they're only looking at you, but they're like, they aren't paying attention to the rest of the mob because they're trying to figure out where you went, because they're like, did you see that? How many of them are there? And they're looking for Diz as she ducks and weaves throughout the pews.
Cool.
Okay, so with that, the group of skeletons is going to kind of rush in. Lulu is going to start taking a swipe. You see her immediately engage with one of these cultists at the front, and one of the ones who was distracted by you takes a blow from one of the others of Lulu's kind of group, and immediately just goes down. It's too distracted, not paying enough attention. It's a immediate critical hit on that person. Yeah, with Lulu's kind of reinforcements, you see that one of them engaged by Lulu already getting hit, and another one going down immediately because of Diz's distractions. So, uh, Rock, what are you doing?
What am I doing? I think I'm just gonna charge in and start swinging.
Okay, go
Just
ahead
whenever
and,
I can.
yeah, just run in, pick somebody. If you want to try and target the other one that Diz has
Yeah,
distracted, okay,
I
that'll
can
give
do that.
you, yeah, a +1 to your roll.
I got an 8 plus 1 for 9.
Nice. All right, go ahead and roll damage.
3.
And what weapon do you have?
I have a dagger.
So the dagger gets a D8 if you've been hiding, and I would say that similarly distraction, they didn't see you coming, so it's kind of like you've been stealthy and sneaky with your attack. So re-roll your damage with a D8 instead.
Okay.
Don't roll lower.
Yeah, that would be sad.
I got a 3.
Okay.
No,
It
whatever.
was
So
fate.
not lower.
You were meant to get 3. Okay. So yeah, you managed to come in and swipe at this person, and they're now very spooked, like because you've just kind of appeared from nowhere to them because they're so distracted looking for Diz. Ham, you've been standing, or yeah, Ham, you've been standing in the back, kind of trying to get the vibes. The vibes are that this is going to be a brawl, and you
Mhm.
know that Lulu is not going to stop until she's either destroyed this time or has that relic.
Mhm.
I think that I would like to head on in there and attack as well.
Okay. Are you attacking the same one as Rock or a different one?
Um, I'll do the same one as Rock.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack. And you get the +1 from Diz's distraction.
Oh my gosh. 4.
Uh,
5 with the +1.
okay. And did you add your +1 for being an orc?
No, I did not.
So a 6
So a
total.
6.
Yeah, that definitely lands. Go ahead and roll your damage, and you have the scimitar, right? So that's a
Mhm.
d6.
Okay. 4.
Okay, that's exactly enough to kill this one. You managed to land a nice hefty blow, and building on the damage already dealt by Rock, bring this cultist down. Zeno. Well, actually, sorry, we have to resolve their attacks, don't we? There are still, of the 8 that were there, there are still um, the one that was killed, one that Lulu's engaged with. So there are still, oh my gosh, why is this hard? This is 1, 2 are dead. So 6, there's still 6 up. Lulu will take damage. You see the one that she's engaged with attacks her. Next to Ham and Rock are more cultists who turn, one each will take a swing at each of you. So if you'll each roll damage, please.
What die is that, a
Oh, that's
10?
just the
D10.
D10 to see where it
Okay.
lands. Yep.
Right. Okay.
I was gonna get those ones.
That's true. You didn't get an attack. We'll resolve this and then start with you.
Oh
I
no,
got
I
an
wasn't worried about it. I'm okay with using my
Just
turn
being
as the
silly, yeah.
distraction. I just wanted to stab him.
I got an 8.
Okay, 8 is your left arm.
Okay, so that's both of the little boxes crossed out.
Okay, your left arm is not just, it doesn't just fall off, it breaks as it falls off, and you can no longer reattach it. So you can use a different bone that is roughly, or thing, it doesn't have to be a bone, that you find to reattach, but it is a -1 while it's not attached.
Put your
Okay.
scimitar just as your arm.
And Rock,
I got a 9.
all right, with a 9, it is also your left arm.
Dang, we
Okay.
really don't like arms.
Lots of left arm
No.
hits. So if that's only one of the hitboxes on the left arm, it falls
Yeah.
off, but it is still there. And Zeno, you are too far back. None of these people have ranged attacks because they seem to be using weapons of opportunity more than, well, a few of them have like real weapons, but they're like hand weapons. Um, so you are too far back right now to get hit. And Diz, you are too hidden. So we will start with Diz. What are you doing next?
Um, would it be possible for me to, um, in a turn, go up and then one of the guys that's dead, cut his arm off and put it back onto Ham, or is that too much for a turn?
Um, let's say that's what your goal is, and the higher you roll, the more of it you'll be able to accomplish. But you'll at least be able to start the process so that even if you don't do all of it, Ham will be able to more easily finish the process if you can't do it all in one roll.
Okay. Oh, that was a 9.
All right. With a 9, yeah, you chop off a left arm, I presume, of someone, and kind of. Well, you tell me. How does Diz reattach it to Ham?
Um, First of all, I kind of like imagine I use the new knife that I got, and it's more
The
of like,
butcher's knife.
yeah, it's like a butcher's knife. I mean, with how well it was, it just arm clean off, right at the socket. So I can probably like, I don't know. Um, I'll just grab like, I'll grab Ham's shoulder. I'll like tell you to lean down a little. You're like almost like 7 feet tall. Yeah, 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 and then I'll like grab your shoulder and I'll like jam it in if I can.
Okay. And with that, Diz, you have helped your friend reattach a limb. So you fully do that, and Ham, you are no longer missing your arm.
Thank you, Lizzie.
Who's next?
Oh, I actually have a question about
Yeah, go
reattaching
ahead.
different ones. So this arm itself, I assume, hasn't been damaged. Is it like a completely new arm and you restart the thing, or do you start with a damage on it?
Um, so it does start with both hitboxes now.
Oh,
So it'll
cool,
fall off again, but you can reattach it once,
cool.
or multiple times if you manage to heal in between somehow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Thank you. I forgot.
No, yeah, that's good. Um, so, Zeno, what are you doing?
I would like to shoot that torch again.
Okay, go for it.
I got a 4.
Well, it was made easier by your first roll, so that is exactly what you needed as an easy action. 4 is the challenge rating for that, so you managed to just hit it properly, and the torch falls down and ignites next to the altar. You see that as the flames start to spread, the relic up at the front, it's not on the altar, so it's not going to go up in like the first round of flames, but now there's a time limit on reaching the relic. If it's left for a couple turns, a couple rounds, it could end up getting burned. So the team is going to have to figure out getting to the relic. You see Lulu and a few of the others taking a lot of damage. One of her team goes down as 2 or 3 of the cultists all team up on them and just wail on them. One of her team goes down, and Lulu is carving people down. You see another cultist go down under Lulu's um, blade, and another one go down under her team. So we are now down to 1, 2, 3, 4 cultists. Ham, Rock, what are you doing?
I could go rush over towards the relic.
Okay. So between you and the relic are the
Mhm.
pews and all the people fighting.
Oh,
So there
great.
isn't there isn't a direct route. You have two
Okay.
options. You can take a circuitous route where you go around the edge of the room and avoid the fight, or you can kind of roll to see kind of like an athletics check of like how much can you kind of bound around and skip and jump through here to get to the front.
I'll do an athletics check.
All right. Go ahead and roll a d10.
Got a 3.
Okay, so with a 3, you start to jump up onto the pews, and you manage to trip and fall into one of the skeletons who's in a fight with one of the cultists. And the cultist is coming down to land a blow on your skeleton brethren, and you take the blow for them. So go ahead and roll a d10.
Great. Romantic.
Maybe this is your
I
new
got a 2.
skeleton friend. A 2 is your left leg. Your left leg detaches.
Okay.
Darn.
I have 2 hitboxes, so is it
And breaks,
still
yes.
there? But okay.
Oh wait, you have two. Like, have you marked off 2 hitboxes on your left leg?
No, just the one.
Just one. Okay,
Yeah.
correct. So it falls off,
Okay.
but it does not break.
Cool.
Um, and Ham.
I am going to attack that guy who just hit Rock.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d10 to attack. And you can add your +1 for hitting.
I got a 10 with the +1.
Very good. I would say with an 11,
Mm.
we'll have your damage be at advantage. So you can roll twice and take the higher of your damage rolls. Because you just
Okay.
rolled so good.
And is that with a 6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 3 and 4.
Okay, so we'll take the 4. So you do 4 damage to this person and reduce their toughness. Actually, that one was already engaged with someone. So, assuming they've taken even just one blow, that 4 would be enough to kill them. So, you managed to strike them down. And we are now down to 1, 2, 3 cultists, and 2 skeletons have gone down. Both Lulu's companions in this fight. Yeah, and the fire is now spreading over towards the relic. We will also, so let's see, so Zeno, you had charged, you hadn't, you're still in the back. One of the cultists sees you in the back and points you out and is like, hey, one of them's got a bow and arrow back there. And another one sees, like, who's kind of most protected. There's only the 3 left, but the one who's kind of like in the back of those 3 looks around really fast and finds a rock to fling at you, or like some rubble from the fight, and like spears it at you. It hits because that's what the rules say. Any attack against you hits. So go ahead and roll a d10 and see where it lands.
4, my right arm.
Yes. So your right arm takes the blow and falls off. So you're now missing your right arm. And does it break?
No.
Okay. So you you are in the back and take that blow. There's 2 more. One of them is going to, having seen, having seen Diz reattach the arm. They're like, they've got a medic and attack you, which is also a war crime. So now there's been war crimes on both sides.
Yeah,
Of
we're even.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
good.
So Diz, go ahead and roll a d10.
Oh yeah, what a good medic. That is my right leg.
Okay, your right leg falls off.
That's so unfortunate. I have I have a hit like so many different places.
Nothing has quite doubled up for most of you, though, just the one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2 of them. And then the last one is going to take a swipe at Lulu. And you see that Lulu, well, let's see, I'll roll a d10 for Lulu. Let me dig out a d10 here real fast.
Your head better not fall off, Lulu, I swear.
I rolled a 6, so it's
Okay.
no, that's torso though, so that kind of is her head falling off.
Yeah.
You see Lulu collapse. She goes, "Not again!" from the ground, and now it's back to top of the order essentially. So anybody can act.
I would love to reattach my limbs personally.
Okay, so you can reattach one limb for free. So if you can roll and hit an 8 or higher, I will let you attach both. So roll your d10.
Okay.
And on an
I have
8,
an
9,
8.
or 10. Okay, that's enough. So you you
Lucky.
managed to. Sorry, I just looked over in the chat and someone was like, "Are they zombies?" It's like, oh, skeletons. Yes, you do manage to reattach both of your limbs, but that will be the end of your turn.
Awesome.
Who's up?
I assume, are you gonna put your limb back on, Zeno?
Yeah. I would pick up my arm, pop it back on, pick up
Okay.
my bow and arrows, and then I was thinking start moving towards the relic, kind of in there,
Okay.
but avoiding them.
Yeah. All right. The more circuitous route this time, or kind of around the edge. Yeah, so you can cover a little bit of ground, but the amount of time that it took to reattach your limb, you're really only getting a little bit of distance covered. You're not going to make it all the way to the front.
Mm-hmm.
Ham?
I think I'll attack another person,
Okay, go for it.
cultist. So I roll a 10, right?
Yes, you do.
Oh, a 2.
Okay, you reach out, you swipe, and you don't manage to land the blow. Too much chaos is happening. You thought you had a good angle, and they just move out of the way at just the wrong second, while responding to something else that's happening nearby. Managed to dodge out of the way of your attack.
So,
You're not used to your new arm.
no, not
Yeah,
quite yet.
it's too heavy with all that flesh on it.
Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
Gross. Sacrilege to skeletons. Diz,
Yeah.
have you taken an action yet?
No. I guess so. So okay, we have a time limit now because there's fire.
Yep. The fire's spreading
Has
towards the relic, and there are three cultists still up, and Lulu and one of her fighters are still fighting.
okay. Is the fire affecting like the cultists at all? Like, are
Um,
they?
Good question. Yeah, you do see the one in the back who first noticed Zeno, is now kind of turned around and seen the flames, and has not yet fully been able to like communicate that. But you see them like clocking the flames and like looking over at the relic, which is also very important religiously to them. And you see them kind of like looking between like the flames and that, and you see them turn back to their group, but they haven't yet had a chance to yell about it.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I'm gonna stab the one that just recently hit. Now I can't remember her name. The
Lulu?
Lulu. Yep,
Yeah. Okay.
Lulu. The one that
Yep.
just hit Lulu.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack.
2.
Two. Sorry to say, two does not beat. Does not hit. So you swipe out with your dagger. It's still
Oh,
got.
I don't have. I didn't say that I put my leg back on. That's a 1, so it doesn't matter. But
Yeah,
whoops.
you're too imbalanced with the leg missing. It's too hard. Okay. The one who saw the cultist who saw, did everyone get a turn that round? I think so, right? Yeah. Okay. The one who saw the fire spreading is now like, oh, fire, fire, and starts running towards the relic. Lulu puts her head back on because it fell off her torso. Well, her torso fell off, but puts her head back on her torso, and stands up. And the other one takes a blow. Or the other skeleton manages to bring down the other cultist, who they were engaged with. So that leaves you now with the one cultist making a beeline for the relic, and the one who is trying to engage with Lulu still. Um, yeah.
I have a +1 to moving, so can I
Yes.
try to get that relic?
Yes, you can. Go ahead and roll your d10 plus 1.
6, 7.
7. Okay, so you dash forward, and you arrive to the relic at the same time as the cultist does, and you swipe for it, and like there, and it's like, we'll say like there's little handles, and you're each kind of holding on to one, and now you are engaged with this. Uh, Notably, their back is to the fire, so they are closer to the fire than you are.
Okay.
Push him.
Well, it's not. Zeno has used their turn, so
No, I know. Yeah.
but you yell, push them.
Do one of the things where it's like a tug of war, but then you're like, okay, sorry, and then you let go and they fall back.
Right. And then I grab it really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. I'll put my leg back on, I guess. I can't
Okay.
roll if I don't. It's not even like it's because of the -1. It's just when I don't have a limb, I just can't do
Yeah. The dice
anything.
know. They're like, mm-mm. Okay. So Diz takes a moment to reattach a limb. Rock and Ham, what are you up to?
I think How many cultists are there left?
2.
Besides the one by the fire?
Just 1 then.
Yeah. I will go to attack that cultist.
Okay. The one by the fire or the one that is engaged with Lulu?
The one engaged with Lulu.
All right, go ahead. Roll your attack.
I got a 10.
Very nice. All right, go ahead and roll your damage.
D4. 3.
Okay, you bring their difficulty down 1. And Ham.
I am also going to attack that guy.
All right, go for it.
Screw
D10.
that guy.
Screw that guy.
Everyone's piling on.
9.
Nice. All right, roll your damage.
Sorry. Please hold. 2.
2. All right. Bring its difficulty down. Looking very beat up, very worse for wear, but not quite down yet. That cultist kind of starts to stagger back, and then sees that they're staggering back towards flames, and they're like, "Oh God!" So, is that all 4 of you went? Okay. The cultist who is arrived at the thing with you, that was essentially their turn, was racing you to get there, and they matched you. So that's why you're now engaged with them. And then the other one, looking pretty beat up, is going to try to get away, bless their heart. But they are pretty pinned. So they're going to try to kind of make their way out by like
Sorry.
the cat getting in trouble.
On top of the snake enclosure.
Yep.
Minor
Claude.
emergency.
There she goes across the back, or they. I don't know what just
She.
unhappy about being manhandled this way. So okay, you so this cultist is going to try to escape, and Lulu is going to attempt to attack them as they try to escape, and does hit. So we will say Lulu manages to strike them down as they're running. More war crimes. And with that, it's just the one cultist, and the fire is now spread even further. It's definitely getting like smoke is starting to fill in here, which, thankfully for you, no lungs, so no big deal. But it's caught onto some of the pews and some of the support structures. And so there's a lot of stone, like floors and the walls and things, but like the supports and everything are also wood. And so you see that the fire is now spreading across the sanctuary more. And that brings us back to top of the order, and it's Lulu, one other skeleton, and the 4 of you against this one cultist with the relic.
I
Diz look at me. Got it?
this is the first time I'm gonna say it. Ham, go cut his arm off or something.
I guess I'll cut his arm off or something.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Wait, or should we tabletop him? I'm so small.
I rolled a 10.
Nice. Definitely can slice into the arm. Roll damage. We'll say what damage do you deal? 6, right? On a 4, 5, or 6, you will manage to detach the arm. Otherwise it will just be a blow on the.
Okay, I got a 2.
Okay. So you see him like cry out in pain as you you carve some of the flesh, and you can see some bone and like actually, not too bad skeletal structure in there. If only they would not cover it up with all this flesh. And he is definitely like his arm like sags. Zeno, you can feel like it is significantly less like grip on this
I just
thing.
pull it so hard.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d10, and you can add 2 to this roll.
A 9.
Oh yeah, easy. You pull the relic out and from their grasp, and they kind of stagger back, clutching at their arm.
Wait, I'm in table topping position.
What
So
does
he
that
really
mean?
falls.
You don't know what table topping is?
Yeah. I just had like my brain was not there, but as soon as you said so, he falls. I'm like, oh, okay, I know exactly what happens. Um, okay, he staggers back, bumps into you, falls over backwards straight into the flames, um, and you now have the relic. The last cultist is engulfed in flames, and the group of you, with Lulu and the one other skeleton, flee the building as it burns down. And as you escape, you have managed to collect for yourselves a bag of gold, a potion of repair, which you did immediately drink, which and the cleaver, the meat cleaver, and now the relic, which Lulu takes the bone and slips it into a component pouch that she's going to take, like the finger thing, the relic itself,
Mhm.
that she's going to take back to the wizard, but kind of claps each of you on the shoulder and says, all of you did good today, earned yourselves this treasure. Go, uh, take it, do whatever you want with it. I don't, what do skeletons do with treasure? I don't know, but you can have it. And you now have this beautiful wrought golden case that was once holding the relic, which has perhaps some magical components to it, or ness to it as well. And you have earned this treasure and performed some legendary deeds tonight, indeed, as you tabletopped. The first person you found was the boss of the dungeon, so to speak. I mean, again, the humor of, well, the joke of it being, he's not, but bless his heart.
Mhm.
You got Steve, you got Kevin. You left the librarians alone. They're probably trying to save their books from an all-engulfing fire at this point. The moral of the story is libraries are great. Everyone should patronize your local library,
Mhm.
and anything that your characters would like to kind of do on, as you kind of, you get your cool moment of the building in flames and the team like walking away with it silhouetting you in the nighttime sky.
Um, I just wanted to say, it's sort of retroactively, I'd be like, oh, he does have bones under there, as like the guy's like burning, his flesh is melting off, and it reveals a nice skeleton. Oh, it's nice. As we sprint out of the building. Um, I don't know.
I think that I probably trip over a rock on my
Okay.
way out.
Yeah, you're doing
You
your
trip over
cool.
a rock or rock?
A rock.
Okay.
Okay.
Like a very small one on the ground. There's no way I should have tripped over that.
I can pick you up,
Aw.
drag you along.
Oh.
Well, you know how it is. I'm a
Um,
dwarf.
Yeah, do we want to go back? I think we do pretty well for ourselves out here.
I'm just running. Just
Okay.
yeah. Back.
Never.
Probably.
Zeno?
I'm just sitting here.
Back
Bye,
to
Zeno.
Are you going back to the wizard's tower though, or are you going to keep adventuring?
Ooh.
Is the adventuring life one for Zeno?
Good question.
Zeno, you're so good at it.
And then I stop and I turn around and I go, really? I mean, if you say so. And then I shoot an arrow into the fire.
Mhm. I heard that meow.
That was so
Mhm.
cute. Ugh, love her.
What about Rock and Ham? Is the adventuring life for them?
I'm down for an adventure always.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
Double
Div?
thumbs up.
Nice. And with that, the group of you, freshly equipped with some of you new skeletal structures that still need to have the flesh removed, but that's understandable. With new treasures and weapons, having successfully helped your friend Lulu get the relic that she needed to return with honor to the wizard. You now set out on your own path to become adventurers in this world of human dungeons and cultists at monasteries and things of that nature. And who knows, maybe the skeleton crew will ride again with another adventure and another human dungeon. But until then, I have had so much fun playing with you all. Thank you so much for the game tonight. Don't forget, everybody in the chat, if you would like to hang out with us more, you can use !Discord to get to our Discord. And we use !Donate to highlight causes near and dear to our heart, which this month, of course, being Pride Month, is a lot of cool LGBTQ plus charities. Yes, amazing things that you can do. And Galway, anything else before we close out?
I don't think so. Thank you so much, everybody, for playing. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Hope you had a great time. And yeah, 25th, we have our last Pride game for this year at 2 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Elise. But yeah, thank you so much again. Wonderful job, everybody. Thank you so much for playing. And as always, stay safe, be well, have a good night, and be kind to yourselves and to each other. Bye.
Good night.